Agatha all along. And I gotta say, I have loved what we have seen thus far. This series has continued to deliver in a lot of respects for a lot of different fans out there. And for myself, I've had a fantastic time just kind of gauging the fan theories, gauging the mystery, going after all the wonder that this episode has to offer. And they finally answered a few big questions throughout this episode. Overall, our biggest two reveals, and again, if you haven't watched the episode, check on out and then come back here at this moment in time. We finally got the big reveal that we've been looking for. Aubrey Plaza's character is, in fact, Death. Opposite that, the teen, his name is Wiccan. And if you're familiar with the Marvel Comics, Wiccan is the son of one Wanda Maximoff. So, in no uncertain terms, the teen has been going down this witch's road, kind of asserting his, ever growing knowledge of magic and lore and all that fun stuff, trying to get close to Agatha, trying to be buddy buddy. And there were some truly genuine moments, and there were some signs that he was hoping that she was a changed witch, that she was a different individual, that she's ultimately not who everyone had her panned out to be, and that everything that happened within WandaVision and throughout her lifetime had just been series of unfortunate event after series of unfortunate event where people turned on her or betrayed her, stabbed her in the back, put her against the wall, you name it. Turns out none of those situations really played out that way. She definitely sold out her son for the Darkhold. On top of that, she betrayed her own mother and that coven that she had there back in Salem to ensure that she survived. Adding on to that, she still betrayed all of her other witches that she's met at one moment in time or another. And then everything with the events that happened in WandaVision were there. She traded her son for the Darkhold. Agatha is a villain. So I understand there's going to be a lot of sympathy. There's going to be a lot of people like, well, she's kind of doing things differently. She had this one coming. Throughout this trial, we saw that the seven, or the one of the covens that turns out to be the children of a bunch of witches that Agatha ended, has been after her this entire time, and she's kind of known about it. So there's kind of a problem with that right there in all respects. And the seven did a very good job of cornering them, only for everyone to have a perfect time to break out brooms and, well, ride off past the full blood moon, because why not? Symbolic shot. Disney should honestly use it for like its, Disney Plus background throughout the month of October. That's a perfect Halloween shot. I think they may be waiting till this episode finally drops and give people some time to be like, boom, here you go. It's a shot that's very akin to like Hocus Pocus, if you kept up with that classic film way back early on. Fantastic movie. But again, they have the typical moonshot, but then all of a sudden the witch's road kind of inverts on them and forces them back down to the road. They eventually have to fly through one of the seven, but they make it into their trial. The trial turns out to be none other than everyone's least favorite household game, the Ouija board. And if you've ever played with one, always be sure to say goodbye. But also, Ouija boards are Ouija boards. Bad things happen. They have to kind of ask the Ouija board a couple series of questions. Don't taunt the spirits, don't heckle the spirits. You can't ask about death. You can ask just about anything else that you wanted to. There are about 6 rules that they had in all there. As they go about it, they learn that someone needs to be punished. It spells out Punish, and then slowly afterwards spells out Agatha, Agatha. So the main thing that needed to happen throughout this trial was for Agatha to be punished. Turns out the spirit that wanted Agatha to be punished is none other than her own mother, Evanora Harkness, who has been out for revenge because her coven was betrayed by Agatha and they tried to turn on her and stop her from, gaining power. But ultimately, we all know who came out victorious in that. And Evanora, by trying to seek vengeance, is ultimately going out here and trying to ensure that Agatha is unable to make it to the end of the Witch's Road, therefore being stuck in limbo, aka just you're basically dead to all planes of existence. You become a nothing thought. And the reason that we know Aubrey Plaza is in fact death is because the only time that we're getting any kind of emotion from her is literally when Agatha's in danger, which they seem to have a lot of history with. And also, the only other comment that she had was, I hate ghosts. And the only reason Death would hate ghosts is because ghosts are people that should be sent to death, but are instead are stuck to the plane of the living, either due to some deep-seated emotion, an unfinished task, whatever may have you. I'm not a ghost expert, but that's just what people speculate on. So ultimately, Death would definitely not have a friendly relationship with ghosts, spirits, or anything of that nature of any kind. And ultimately, they're able to kind of thwart this ghost, albeit through the fact that the protection witch decides to use her magic, aka one of the spells called the Knight of Wands, and use it on the spirit that was invading Agatha's body, which, having your own mom inside of you, phrasing, is definitely not going to be something that is for the faint of heart, and definitely going to be an interesting moment. But the protection witch shot Agatha's mom out of there, only for Agatha, the moment that she had seized, turns her hands like this. Her purple magic ignites and she starts draining the power from our protection witch, ultimately ending her very existence. Not really a tight knit coven when you start turning on your own and you kind of end the lives of someone who literally risked theirs to save you. Very villainous. So Agatha is definitely falling in the anti-hero slash straight up villain line for certain. And ultimately, we have the voice of one Nicholas Scratch. That's right, Agatha's very own son, who she turned into a familiar, aka the rabbit that she has been keeping at her house. Had his voice break through and was like, "Mama, don't do this." And it's the only thing that broke Agatha out of the hole. Only for Agatha to, because Agatha was punished, everyone was released from the trial. Agatha then scoots on off, and then the teen follows close behind. It's like, "Hey, why'd you do that? I can't believe you did this. This isn't like you. This isn't who you're supposed to be." Only for Agatha to literally just caress it all the way through and point up and be like, "This is exactly who I am. You need to get used to this. This is how I do magic." Only for the teen to be like, "No, I don't do magic this way." And she's like, "You were exactly like your mother," which is one of our biggest nods we had up to the point where ultimately the teen then does this. Blue magic shoots out of his hands, and he takes control of two of our witches, our divination witch and our green witch, who then basically throw Agatha into the puddle of mud right off the side of the road, which, if you fall off the road, it sucks you in and then you're gone. Only for the teen to then do the same exact thing to the two witches he was just previously using and then release them from his spell. The camera pans back to our teen, and he's got on Wanda's crown, the one where she went crazy in. So, safe to say, it's Wiccan, and things are definitely not looking good for our party of witches, because now we only have a wizard left. We are down every single witch. Still, RIP Sharon. But we still have 3 episodes left. So I'm assuming the 7 is going to come into play at some point and say that Agatha did not die a clean death or by their hands. So they will pull her out of there, which will cause a series of events that'll ultimately play out where we're going to have this showdown between Agatha and Wiccan later on throughout the episodes. What do you guys think? Let me know. Continue to fan theory. Let us know everything else you have going on. We still have a lot of big questions coming forward. And my biggest question is, if you haven't hit that lovely red subscribe button, why haven't you? It'll be the gold logo in the bottom corner or the red subscribe button at the bottom of the channel. Greatly helps us out. It's free. We appreciate it. I've been Brent for Geek Variants. I'll see you in the next episode.